Well, good evening, everybody, and thank you again for joining us tonight. Thank you to everyone returning, and thank you to those new viewers joining us for the first time as well. Welcome back to even more GT3 racing action, which is being brought to you by the Tanzo Racing Group and sponsored by Fresh Rubber and Clark St. James Motorsport. As always, I'm Gaz, and alongside me tonight, like he is every week, is going to be Jimmy. And we are both looking forward to an exciting race, hopefully, tonight. We cannot wait to get started. Tonight, we do have something slightly different to start the show. As you can see, we're online a little bit earlier than usual, but we wanted to give those drivers from last week in the podium spots a little bit of an opportunity to get some words in. But before we bring them in, there's someone else missing with me tonight, and I'm going to bring him right in now. Jimmy, how are you, my friend?
I am very good, thank you. How are you doing?
Jimmy, I'm absolutely ecstatic, mate. As you can probably tell from my voice, I'm excited for this race today. You were massively excited for last week. I absolutely love Daytona. Some phenomenal races go on in Daytona. I can't wait to get started, mate. I'm literally excited.
American classic, isn't it? Absolute American classic.
Yeehaw! I do apologise, viewers, for that one. Jimmy, like I says, we're going to start off a little bit differently. We're going to get a couple of drivers in from last week who unfortunately weren't able to join us for a bit of a post-race interview. So we're going to get them in now. I want to bring in the first person, though. Can I bring in a Mr. Adam Wilson Weir? He was P1 last week. We're going to hear a quick bit from him now. Adam, how are you doing, mate?
Hello, how's things?
Good, my friend. How are you?
Yeah, all good. I'm ready for tonight.
Absolutely.
How are you feeling after your win last week?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty good. I mean, Algarve's more of a technical track, is what I'm mainly better at. Daytona is not one of my favorites, so we'll just see how we get on tonight.
Yeah, it's a very different beast, isn't it? Being a draft track versus a technical track, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I mean, this here's more of a strategy race than anything. You know, it's mainly about fuel saving, tire saving. So I actually don't want to be P1 because I can use that to my arsenal. You know, I can get in the pits and see if I can jump. But we'll just have to wait and see.
No, absolutely. I think we're looking at quite an interesting race today, mate. Do you think how do you think you're going to fare, really? Though you saw the quality of drivers that were coming up now. We're into week 3, race 3. Sorry. How do you think you're going to stand today?
Well, mate, I wouldn't really go by the times on the practice because I mean, obviously, with tow comes into play. So I mean, we'll just have to wait till quali and see what everyone's putting out. And then I think we'll just take it from there. See if we can make a couple of moves. But I definitely won't be P1, that's for sure.
Well, we can obviously see we're looking at the leaderboard right now, mate, and we can see you sitting up there. P1, finished last week P1 in class as well. You are having a great season so far, mate. You're doing really, really well. I hope to see another great race today. Anything from last week that you'll be taking into this week's race?
I mean, I think I know who my rivals are, so I just have to keep an eye on them. So you know what I mean.
Well, we won't throw out any names just yet. We'll just wait and see if we see that rivalry form out on track today. Then I think I might know who you're talking about there.
Yeah, I'm sure all the viewers do.
No, absolutely.
Is there anything you do differently to sort of prepare yourself for a track like this compared to Algarve last week?
I mean, it's one of them tracks that everyone knows, and there's a lot of people who just grind Daytona, and unfortunately, I'm not one of them people. You know, I prefer tracks like the Nord and stuff like that. So it's just, I say it is a different beast, and I'm just going to have to take it as it comes, really.
Yeah. Did you take part in the 24 hours over the weekend?
No, unfortunately, I didn't. I've got like 4 other commitments on for leagues and stuff, so that's priority at the minute.
Maybe a good thing. Maybe a good thing that you haven't put yourself through 24 hours before you get on it for another hour today. I don't know about you, but 25 hours out on one track might be a bit too much for me personally, Adam. I don't know about you, mate.
I probably should have done it for tonight.
Well, again, we're hoping, like I said, mate, we're hoping to see a really good race. You're doing really, really well in the league, mate, and let's just hope it continues for you, buddy. Do you think, though, being 3 races in, has it clicked for you yet? Do you know what you're capable of, what you want to do, what you can do out on track, or are you still kind of testing the waters a little bit with what you can and can't get away with?
I mean, I've been doing it for a while. I've got the experience stuff there. I've championships, race wins, and stuff. So I mean, I've got the arsenal to do it. But just from this track, it's not the actual fixed setup. It's the Daytona fix, which is a bit different. So the car handles a lot differently. So
Yeah.
it's just a matter. I think it goes for all the drivers as well. It's how quickly they adapt to the car. And it's just say it's turn one's always turn one.
Yeah, so turn one we're going to be looking at today, especially it's going to be a bit colder out on track. Those tires aren't going to be picking up the temperature, mate. So I think everyone's got to be a little bit careful there. You hit the nail right on the head with that one.
Yeah, well, it's only 21 degrees, and it seems like a night race, so it's only going to get later. Tracks
Oh
only
yeah.
get cooler as we go on. You'll probably see whenever the tires are warm, the times start coming down gradually. So it should be a good race.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us for before the race. I know normally this is when you guys lock in and you get right in the zone and ready to go before qualifying. Thank you again for joining us, though. Good luck in today's race, mate, and
Good luck.
maybe speaking to you again at the end if you do well again.
Yeah, thank you very much. Fingers crossed, and hope you have a good night.
No, thank you, mate. Thank you, and good luck to yourself.
Thank you.
Great words there from Adam, wasn't it, Jim? Really, you can
Nice
see where he's
qualify.
come. Yeah, you can see where he's coming from. He's a pretty solid guy there. Seems like he's got his head screwed on. He should have a good race. Shall we though go to who finished P1 in the ANS class last week? Shall we? Shall we bring in a
Absolutely.
Mr. Harry 7?
Let's bring him in.
Harry, how are you, mate?
Good evening, gents. How are we?
Very well, thank you, my friend. How are you doing this evening?
Surviving, I think, is probably the best way to describe it after the small warm-up that I have had.
Well, we won't get you to give away too much information, but has it not quite gone to plan for you just yet? Do you think?
Has it gone to plan? I mean, it hasn't not gone to plan. It's just that it's the first time running the actual fixed setup, and the car is definitely more loose than I was expecting. I can now kind of understand the why everyone was quite sort of vocal in the chat earlier on today. So yeah, I'm not really too sure how this will pan out.
Yeah, a lot less
Yeah.
downforce than the normal fix, isn't it?
It's just like no matter what I do, it just wants to go the other direction.
Well,
How are you finding the bus stop with the setup at the moment?
All right, but I'm slow. In all fairness, like it's fine. It's like when you got the big boys coming up behind you. It's like you can tell I mean, I'm losing seconds to those guys, so I can imagine at probably later points in the race, if I'm doing it, others are probably doing it, and if traffic becomes a thing, you might find a few people get tangled up there.
I mean,
Yeah,
slow is safe, so as long as you're not in a wall, I think we
Famous
take
last
it as a
words,
win,
that.
don't we?
well, Harry, like I said, you're going to take that as a win, but you did indeed win last week in class as well for yourself.
Yes.
14th out on track, P1 in class. Great win for you there, by the way, in class. How did you feel about that coming at the end? Sorry we didn't get you last week, by the way. Few issues going on here and there. How do you feel coming off of that, mate?
You tried to take my moment in the limelight away. To be fair, I was out of the guys I was racing with. I was the last one standing. I think. I mean, Jordan was quicker than me. Like there was no doubt about that. He was even quicker than me down the pit lane with the pit limiter on. So I don't even know how he's managed to do that. So
Had a half a mile from somewhere.
we come out side by side and he was edging me the whole way down it. But he got his tyres wrong and then got, I think, straight over the line coming out, so got a drive through as well. So I got away with that. Obviously, Danny Pools was quick, but I think he had issues. And I think even Josh was quick, but I think he got his strategy wrong as well. So I think it was one of those where it looked great, but then when you look at the others, they made some mistakes along the way. So
Mate, that's racing. It happens, and don't take anything away from yourself, mate. It's racing. It happens. You have to get used to it. You can't be avoided sometimes. Do not take anything away from yourself, mate. P1 in the race last week and sitting P1 in the AMS at the moment. You've got to be happy with that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, what is it? The last 2 seasons I've been the bridesmaid, haven't I? So runner-up in the last 2 seasons to Scotty Kostrick and then Quinton last year. And to be fair, from the racing I've had with Jordan's showing signs of being similar level to them. So I just got to make sure it's not a third time lucky.
Well, what's the saying? Is it always the bridesmaid and never the bride? I think it is.
Something like that, yeah. Hopefully we'll change that.
Oh, no, mate. Well, obviously, we're looking forward to a great race. Hopefully, you guys out there on track are going to give it to us. How are you feeling about to be going into qualifying in a few moments?
I mean, I'm up there. I mean, I'm happy. with where I'm at. I think it'll be one of those. If you can just get a clean lap in, you'll be surprised where you come, because I think you never really know with the practicing. But there's a few out there who look sneaky quick. I mean, Jan looks really quick. Like, I think he might give a few of the pros a bloody nose this race. So I think there could be a couple of twists in this one, but we'll see how we go with it. So I can go either way for me.
Absolutely.
Have you had a chance to practice draft at all?
Only in the Raw, so only with the GT4s, not with the GT3s.
Okay.
I think it's worth a decent chunk by the looks of it from riding on board with a couple of people. I think there's definitely a good half a second at least to make up.
Oh, absolutely. Especially with the low wings from the Daytona fixed. It's yeah, you're
Yeah,
gonna
I
get a
can
lot of
imagine
drafts
it's
on
mega.
Brilliant. Well, again, mate, Harry, we're looking forward, hopefully, to a fantastic race. I know you guys aren't so hot with the setups, but it's a great track. I want to see some great racing out there. Hopefully, you're going to be one of the drivers to provide me some of that action out there.
I've just got to get past T3, otherwise Connor's bet comes in. That's all I got to do.
Well, you know how dodgy it's going to be at the start of that race with it being a colder track, don't you?
Oh, I could see it being chaos. I can imagine you guys will be absolutely overtime sorting the replay out.
Well, you guys. Well, I'll tell you what, mate. You guys give us the action. We'll go off whatever you give us. Keep it coming. That's all I'm saying, because we've seen
Oh,
some
I'm sure
great
I can
racing this
provide you
season.
something. I'm sure I can sort you something out.
Just try and leave it off of turn one. Let's let everybody get round first a little bit. Oh dear. But no, mate, thank you though for joining us. Obviously, this kind of time's for you guys, for the drivers. Thank you for being here with us. Just to answer these few questions, mate, before you do get your head down for qualifying. And you never know,
Welcome.
we might be speaking to you again after the race. Then we'll see what happens.
Never know. You never know. I look forward to catching one of your one-liners at the end of the race. I enjoyed the last one with the old. That's possibly a comment of the season so far, so I look forward to the next one.
Well, do you know what? I'll tell that, and I'll say thank you very much for that compliment, my mate, because that's how I'm going to take it, like that, as a compliment.
Oh, mate, you need to take. I can't use the words I was going to say, but some people need to have the lemon taken out of them, because otherwise it gets too serious.
Mate, it's all fun and games at the end of the day. We're all here for a bit of fun. Obviously, I'm not driving, but I'm here just for the same reasons you are, to enjoy a phenomenal season, a great race. Barry, I'm going to let you go, mate, because you've got about 30 seconds until qualifying's going to get on. Yeah. So, Jimmy, any last words for Harry?
Good luck is all I can say.
Cheers, guys. Catch you later.
Good luck for me too. Good luck, mate. See you out.
Catch you in a bit.
Enjoy, guys.
Absolutely. Well, Jimmy, I just want to say thank you again to the drivers for joining us for that little bit of a chat there. But viewers, welcome back to season 10 and welcome to race 3 of 8 for the third race of this season. We are here in the USA, in Florida, at the world famous Daytona. Jimmy, great track. What are you thinking today, mate?
I mean, I think those guys absolutely nailed it with some of the comments they were saying. I mean, it's a night race, colder temperatures. Those first few laps are going to be crazy, I think, to put it that way. I mean, the amount of grip these guys will have.
Well, sorry, carry on, please.
You say what
I was just going to say, we've seen it in the races so far this season. Them first few corners can be so hairy for the drivers, purely because there's no temp in their tyres, and they are so close together. Are you expecting the same again?
I think it's going to be even worse with this one, because Daytona is half an oval track, half a road track. The fixed setup has got a lot less downforce on it, so you haven't got as much grip overall throughout the entire race as you normally would. So you're going to be slipping, you're going to be sliding, you've got to be a lot more careful.
I completely agree with you there. It's one of those technical tracks, isn't it? There is a lot of speed to be gained when you're out on that oval section. Like you said, we're at the Roval, half road, half oval, says it in the name. And down them oval parts of the track, you can gain some serious speed, especially if you've come out the corner, especially if you come out that bus stop, like you just mentioned to Harry a moment ago. You come out that bus stop and you nail that exit, you've got so much speed. You can do anything. And if you've got a driver behind you, you can guarantee they're going to be in your draft trying to get past you.
I believe some of the cars are hitting up to 180 miles an hour. I might be wrong, but it's something around there. And so you're going quick. And then when you're going side by side, you're bump drafting each other, pushing into each other at those kind of speeds. It's when you got less grip than normal. It's a little sketchy.
No, absolutely. But again, mate, I'm so excited for today's race. I really, really am. Do you want to quickly remind the viewers though at home what we're looking at this season? What are the race regs and rules there, Jim? What are we looking at?
Yep. So the races, or the evening is split up into several parts. So the drivers were just having a warm up, a little practice session beforehand, where that's where we started doing our interviews over the top of, and just gets the drivers a little bit of practice, get a bit of feel for the track temperatures, get a feel for the car grip and everything. Then, right at the moment, we've got 15 minutes of qualifying, so the drivers are on their own for this whole part of for the evening, so they can just lock in, set the times they want to, and then get the best position they can on the board. And then we go to a 5-minute warm-up for the drivers, so they can just relax, do what they need to, ready for the race, and then we are off for a 60-minute race.
Oh, I can't wait. 60 minutes around the Daytona Roval. I'm so excited. I saw the track list at the start of the season, and this is one of the ones, like you with the Algarve last week, this was the one that my eyes were drew to straight away. I love Daytona. I love America. I love everything over there. This for me is one of the best tracks they have over there. So much action you can get out of it. It's so quick. It's technical. Watch those curbs. Watch the grass on the inside and the outside of the corners. It can do you. It's such a great track. There's always action, no matter what kind of racing you are watching here. I'm looking so forward to this, Jim. I really, really am, mate.
Oh, absolutely. For me, though, it's one of those tracks that, like, I prefer to watch, because I think you always get great watching at this track. When you're racing it, it just feels so stressful, and you're concentrating the entire time. But when you get to watch it, you get to see everything unfold. You get to see some great strategies. I was talking about with the bump drafting, going into like these. I mean, the bus stop here it's so scary when you're driving it. But like, watching the cars go too wide through those little segments, it's great watching.
No, absolutely it is, and it's like I said to Harry, you nail certain parts of this track when you head out onto the oval section. It's so fast. I think you said 180 mile an hour we were seeing potentially out there earlier. We're going to hopefully start to see some times coming in soon so we can actually know what these drivers are pulling around the track. But Jim, you just said you'd rather be watching. Don't you lie to me. Me and you have done some GT3s before. They are very powerful. They are amazingly fun to drive. And you're telling me you'd rather be sitting here watching than driving. Now, I appreciate you being with me. You definitely weren't stressing when me and you were racing, but that might be the fact I was about 2 laps down from you and had no chance of coming back.
There's a few different types of tracks where I prefer to be the guy watching. And draft tracks, I always find, just make such great, exciting watching. Things like Monza, Le Mans, and Daytona are the big three where I just love to watch them. But when you're part of them, you kind of like lose yourself in the track a little bit, and it's not as enjoyable for me. But getting to watch people race them, it's fantastic.
Jimmy, these GT3s are so fun. They're great to drive. They're really quick. They're little agile cars. Do you reckon door to door, a little bit of a paint exchanging today, maybe as well?
A bit of trading paints, yeah. I mean, these. What's nice about a GT3 compared to like a lot of the other like prototypes and the Formula cars where they're open wheel is you can afford to do a little bit of wheel banging. You can like you get a little bit of damage here and there, and then even if you do get damage on a draft track, you can work together with other people. You can push, you can be pushed, you can get that draft, and it just works great.
There you go, mate. Now, we are just over 5 minutes into qualifying. There's just under 10 minutes to go, and we're starting to see some names popping up on the board with some times. Jimmy, we've got Craig Corrish at the top at the minute on a 1:44.9. Now, there's not much between them, and these are their first couple of laps that they're setting these times on for their qualifying. Are you expecting to see that improve?
From seeing like this race beforehand, I've seen people go down into the 43s, the very high 43s. So we should see a little bit of wiggle room around here. I mean, there you go. He's just chopped half a second off his time there.
There you go. There you go. Oh,
so I think
Sebastian gone top now. 1:44.3. He's knocking off time. Do you know what? I think it was a pretty silly question for me to ask if they're going to improve on his qualifying time. I think I must be the only person on this earth who goes out, does one decent lap, and goes, you know what? That'll do.
Yeah, go for the glory retire and just, you know what? I'm happy with that.
Yeah,
but, I mean, they are some like amazingly close times. I mean, looking in the orange section of how close that they are to the person in front of them, we're going to see a lot of chopping and changing. And Quinton Clubbert there being one of the pros, I expect him to be moving his way up towards the top 10 racing.
You'd expect it. You'd expect the pro to be joining the rest of them at the moment. Hello, Jan Whittaker.
Just to point out, I believe was it Harry that said, yeah, Jan's been a bit of a bit of a machine around this track, and there he goes, popping himself up in 8th place.
There you go, bit of a dark horse today. No offense to Jan, but he hasn't had the greatest start to the season. We've seen it, and it's not been the best. But looking at that at the moment, obviously there's 9 minutes, 9 minutes left to qualify. They are going to change positions, but that is phenomenal from Jan. Like, we haven't seen him that high up the leaderboard yet.
Yeah, there's less than a second between him and Sam Berry in 1st place. Also, Sam Berry back up to, well, right up to 1st place there. So they are chopping and changing quite a lot. We've got 7 minutes to go now. So anyone's game.
Plenty of time for all these drivers to swap around positions. We'll have to see who's at the top of the engine, because honestly, at the moment, it still might be just a little too early to call who might be starting up there at the top of the pack and top of the classes.
Yeah, I mean, as we talked about in the interviews as well, it's like, do you really want to be starting in 1st place with all that draft behind you? Well, or do you want to be the person in 2nd or even further back? Because I feel like if you're the person in 1st, you've got to think, like, are the people behind you, are they going to want to work with you, or are they going to work against you? Because if someone starts pushing them to go around you, and you just get left for dust, that's not great. But then if you're the person in 2nd, you can choose to be, right, all right, I'm going to push us to the win of the race.
You're in a bit more control, are you saying, from P2 potentially over P1 being out in front with everyone coming up backside of you?
That's what I'm thinking. But then if you're in 1st, you don't have to worry about any of the T1 shenanigans. No one in turn 1 kind of actually losing a bit of grip and colliding with you. You can set your own pace, really.
No, absolutely, and we are going to see some good driving today. It's a fast track. We've seen it previously in previous seasons. Myself and you, we've raced it, and I'm sure plenty of these drivers, if they didn't do the 24 hours, they've spent a fair bit of time on this track this week since we finished the Algarve last week. Viewers, get involved. Let us know. Is this a track that you guys like to drive on? Have you got a track that you maybe prefer out in the States? Or are we just talking absolute waffle and you're saying, no, guys, be quiet. This track is clearly the better one and it's not even in the USA. Let us know. Get involved. Come on, guys.
Yeah, I mean, Daytona itself is home to, I think, 2 of the biggest races in all of, like, race history, with the 24 Hours of Daytona, where you usually see prototypes, GT3s, like, all battling together. It's
I love a prototype.
Amazing. Oh, I do love a prototype. And then we've also got the Daytona 500, which is an oval race, NASCAR race, and it's an absolute spectacle as well. Well worth a watch if you can.
The Daytona 500, I think, is a lot of people inadvertently do know, even if they're not familiar with NASCAR and this track in particular. I guarantee you've seen the Daytona 500 probably mentioned more times in movies than you can even remember. It's such an iconic American track. It is absolutely humongous. I have actually been there. Unfortunately, it wasn't for a race. I didn't get to see any racing action, but I did have a little tour around there when I was spending some time out in Florida myself. And Jimmy, it is a lot bigger than you think it is, and you know how big it is.
Yeah, I mean, it's miles long. I mean, it's
well, look
it's basically a small village, isn't it? If you think of how far they got to drive around.
To be fair, the village that I used to live in when I used to just live down south, you could probably pop right in the middle of that oval track and still have room for more expansion. But no, Jimmy, obviously we're on the oval. It's 3.56 miles long with just under 12 corners. There's a lot of action to be had today.
Yeah, and we've got Sebastian up there in P1 at the moment with a 1:44.1. So, I mean, they are getting close to that 43s, the high 43s. So we are seeing some very good times coming up here.
No, absolutely. And Jan's still holding out P8, P1 in class at the moment. So he's still holding his own at the minute. Do you think something might have clicked for him between the last couple of weeks and this week? Because, like Harry said, he seems to be a bit of a dark horse today. And judging by those numbers at the minute, with a few pros still behind him, granted that might change, I think he's got something screwed into his head today.
I mean, it could be, like you said, a Daytona is one of those ones where people drive a lot. So it might be comfortable for him. It might be he's just able to settle in. He knows what he can do. He knows where the limits are, and he's able to just push as hard as he can.
There you go. Sorry, Sebastian sitting at the top again, a 1:44.020. Very, very fast there.
So I did just get a bit of information. Jan took part in the 24 Hours of Daytona over the weekend, so he's had a fair bit of practice. Sorry,
I'll tell you what. I was going to say I'm going to go off on that He's had 24 hours out on this track already. He's got less than 5 minutes of qualifying
it's not
to go.
all him. Not all 24 hours for him. They'll be
Hey.
part of the team, but
I understand he's part of the team, but he's still been out there for a lot, probably more hours than most of these other drivers who maybe didn't take part. But the rest of these drivers, they've got just over 3 minutes left of qualifying to lock those times in before we get underway for the 60-minute feature tonight that we've got for you guys.
yeah, 3 minutes to go. Sorry. I mean, do you reckon we're going to see much chopping and changing, or do you reckon this is going to be where everyone's going to end up?
Do you know what? I thought I was confident last week when we had a few minutes to go when I started calling the order. And Jimmy, curse the commentator hit us both. You got done in the race, and I got done in qualifying. I've started calling the qualifying, and the driver orders changed by the time I've got halfway down it. So I'm not calling anything just yet, but we have got a few minutes left, so there might be some changes. You expect there to be, really. Like you said, we've got Jan Whitaker sitting up in ninth at the minute. He's got Alexander Claudio and Wayne Douglas, 2 pros sitting behind him. Quinton Clumpert is down in 20th, but another pro behind him. There might be some last gasp grabs for top spots here for the boys.
Yeah, I reckon someone's going to throw out an absolutely... Oh, there you go. Sebastian, 144 dead at the moment. I mean, it's so close to that 43 times where I think people are going to start to peak out at. And yeah, I reckon we're going to see a couple people just throw an absolute blinder in these last laps.
Well, we've got 2 minutes to go, so they've only got time for a couple more laps to get that in there. Maybe probably one decent lap in there to cement that position on the grid for where they'll be starting today. But currently, Sebastian
going a little bit quicker.
There you go. But currently, Sebastian's sitting P1 for the pros, and Jan Whitaker sitting P1, P9 out on track for the AMs today. So far in qualifying, with just over a minute and a half to go.
Oh, a little spin out on track there from Craig.
I don't think he'll be too bothered by that at the moment. I think he's okay. He's jumped to the pit, so I think that might be the end for Craig there. I don't think we'll see him make a last gasp dash on Sebastian at the moment.
No, he won't have time to go back out, so that is his time set in stone there.
It's like you said, though, he might be quite happy with that in P2. We don't know what these boys' tactics are tonight.
I mean, I'd be happy with that in P2. Like I said, the drafting is where you're going to be able to make up a lot of that time and work with the guy in front of you. I mean, he's got 2 tenths behind him, but you'll make up more than that in that tow. You've just got to keep behind them on those first couple of laps. Make sure you stay within that about 1 second gap is where the draft and the tow starts to drop off.
No, absolutely. We just saw Alexander Claudio slightly improve on his time, but he still hasn't been able to get there above Jan Whitaker, and it looks like Alexander's just going into the pits as well. So Jan might actually be having a few pros behind him to start this race this week, Jim.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like they're all starting to come in now. So, I mean, this looks like it's roughly going to be the finishing order. He's got Raymond right behind him, another AM. Do you think they'd be tempted to work together, or do you reckon some of the pros would be thinking like, all right, Jan's definitely got the pace. Let's maybe bump draft him a little bit, or do you reckon they'll be working together?
Do you know what? This is one that I can't really call, purely because of what we've seen from Jan in previous weeks. I don't know what the driver's mindset is going to be like. They may want to stay out of the way. They might want to help. They might want to help each other out. But Jimmy, that's the 15 minutes of qualifying done, my mate.
Yeah, about to go a little 5-minute warm up for the drivers, just so they can maybe cheek a little bathroom break, maybe grab a glass of water. Who knows what their little pre-race ritual is? I mean, we heard, what was it, last week? Someone likes to listen to a bit of music before they go back out. So,
yeah, I think I saw in one of the live comments last week, someone listens to thrash death metal in the warm up to the race. Now that's right up my street, so I'm pretty much down with that heavy metal music. I'd probably have the same going on. But
not by the Venga Boys or something beforehand, just to get you hyped up.
Now, Jimmy, you weren't meant to say that out loud. I'm only joking, viewers. I have a massive love for the Venga Boys. Bring them back, I say. #1 next Christmas. But Jimmy, like you said, we're in a little bit of a warm-up at the minute. These drivers know where they're sitting out on track. They're going to be getting their heads in the game. I think it's time we remind all the drivers and everyone listening out there tonight what we're actually fighting for, because there's something to play for this season, isn't there, my mate? And we did mention it last week, but I don't know if you want to let the viewers know what they're fighting for again.
Yeah, absolutely. So Vector Motorsports has kindly provided a £600 prize money for this season. So £500 goes to P1 overall with the most points. So that could go to either a pro or an AM, depending on who does better over the entire season. And then P2 overall on points gets £100. So 500 to first, £100 to second. That's not bad at all. That's not bad at all for a bit of fun, is it?
Of course it's not. And I think we mentioned it last week. That is definitely going to be a factor in the boys' heads. There's some money up for grabs at the end of the season. I ain't being funny. Whether it's the £500 or the £100, I'd be ecstatic with either of those. Guys, again, thank you to Vector Motorsport, who's very kindly put up that prize pool this year. Get at them on their socials, by the way, at Vector Motorsport on YouTube, TikTok, and Facebook, and at Vector Motorsport 297 on Instagram. Get at them. Go and have a look at their content. Give them a like and a follow. Let's help them out, shall we? Because they've been more than kind to us this season. I think we can all be a little bit kinder back to them as well. Yeah, Jim, shall we? Do you want to have a little look at the results from the qualifying there just before we get started in a few minutes?
Yeah, let's give a little run through of where everyone's at the moment. So,
there you go, take it away.
Of qualifying, we have in first place Sebastian Diesvenbach. In second place, we have Craig Corish, followed by Sam Berry, Harry Hartley-Price, Adam Wilson-Weir, Hayden Young, Peter Duke, Glenn Ablard, Jan Whittaker, and Raymond van Zutphen, rounding out your top 10. In 11th, we have Alexander Claudio, followed by Ryan Clark, Wayne Douglas, Harry Seven, Matthew Massey, Elmer Van Beek, Joel Loudon, and Christopher Haynes. We have Quinton Clumpert, Jordan Butler, James Moore, Gareth Newton, Eddie Grigonis, Mark Wesley, Joshua Smith, James Vardigans, and then Tim Cullimore rounding out your top 27.
I wonder what's going on with Tim. He doesn't seem to set a time so far. Well, he hasn't set a time at all in qualifying. I wonder what's going on there.
I mean, he might not be taking part in this race. We'll have to find out. Maybe he wants to do a little last to first. We'll have to take a look, see what happens there.
Well, he had a good race last week, so maybe he just wants to set himself a little bit of a challenge. You never know. He could be an absolute dark horse on this race, on this track, and be probably, well, maybe in his own, one of the better drivers out there, and he's giving himself a little bit of a challenge.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that's sometimes part of the fun of it. I mean,
no, absolutely.
Have a little force yourself into a race or two.
Absolutely. And guys, we've got just over a minute before the cars will be starting to line up on track, ready for that rolling start. But guys, again, thank you very much for joining us tonight. If you are enjoying the content that we are giving you, please drop us a like. Please give us a subscribe. Hit that little bell notification as well, just so you know when we go live and you don't miss any of the action this year. We would massively appreciate it. Thank you again to everyone for joining us.
Yep, and thank you to all of us subscribers as well. So yeah, just over a minute to go. I mean, it's going to be an exciting one. I mean, I'm really interested to see what the strategies are going to be this race. I mean, like they said in the interviews, it's a strategy race. That's essentially what it is. Because you'll gain so much time being in the draft and being close to those guys behind you. I think the worry's going to come if someone does have a spin in front of you, and then you're going to have to avoid it, and you lose a bit of time there. You're going to fall out of that draft, and then you've got everyone at the front working together, whilst you and everyone else that had to got caught up in maybe an incident or two is having to work together at the back.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now these drivers are going to start to be lining up on the track at any moment, and then I have got 1 hour of this phenomenal track, 12 corners, 3.56 miles a lap. It's a big boy. It is an absolute big boy. The warm-up just coming to the end, so we're going to start to see them lining up now, though, Jim. I'm so excited. I don't know if you can tell.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one, and I think like we talked about, those cold tires on that first couple laps, it's going to make it really interesting, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Well, I just saw the track information. It's 20 degrees out there, and it's nighttime tonight for us in Florida. They aren't going to get that heat from the sun that's warming up the track. It's going to be cold. There's going to be some action in the first few corners. I really do think so.
Yeah, it's going to be some exciting action, and they're all lined up ready to go now. So when that safety car right at the front goes off, as soon as that dips into the pit lane, it's up to the driver in first place, which is Sebastian. As soon as he goes, they all go. They will.
And again, thank you for the Tanzo Racing Group for putting this on. And thank you to Fresh Rubber and Clark St. James Motorsport for sponsoring today, for this whole season. There we go. They're rolling, Jim.
Yeah, the lights are out and they are getting going. It's a short little warm-up. You're going to see the cars doing it. Actually, it's quite a long one. They're at the bus stop at the moment, so they've got about a little bit of track to go, so plenty of time to warm up those tyres with a bit of wiggling, bit of weaving, and hopefully that should make those first few corners a little less scary.
Well, there you go. They're going to come out that bus stop. They're going to start to hit that oval part of the track. You're going to see that. You're going to see that safety car, that lead car, come in, and then it's down to Sebastian to set the pace, then, isn't it? Really?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, yeah, it's going to be so interesting. I'm really interested, like, because I mean that inside line, I think is going to be very important for this first lap. Getting that like inside into turn one, you're not forced out too wide. You get to keep your position, stay safe. It's going to be yeah, it's going to be dipping in any second now.
Look at Craig up there. A bit of a Lewis Hamilton, Max Verstappen moment there with Craig on the side of Sebastian. Is he going to try and pip him? Let's find out.
I mean, I think the thing about having a there you go, the safety car is in, so we'll see them go at any moment now. So we'll just keep an eye on them there.
So we're looking at Sebastian.
Yep, and the lights are going any second now, and there we go. They are off.
There we go. There we go. Sebastian set the pace there. Currently still out leading the pack at the moment. You can look at all those cars, absolutely all over the place. They are going to want to be very careful in these first few corners, aren't they, Jim?
Yeah, especially around those big curves there. Those big yellow curves will really upset the car if you hit them wrong. But he's got such a nice lead there. 0.8 of a second already, 0.9 of a second. I mean, he's going to be enjoying that one. And yeah, you see a little bit of everyone being a little bit hesitant getting on the throttle here, just because you don't want to spin up the tyres and then cause a bit of an accident. I think you can afford to, with the draft, to just play it a little bit safe right at the start.
Well, again, we remind everybody every week, there's 60 minutes to this race. You do not need to have your race in the first 5 corners.
No, you couldn't have said it better myself. Well, I couldn't have said it better myself. You got
You couldn't
plenty of
say it
time to I couldn't say it at all.
It's all right, mate. It's all right. Don't you worry. It's been a long day. It's been a long day, my mate.
Yeah, I mean, I'm amazed at how they've kept it all so clean on these first laps, because when I've tested these GT3s around here, with the cold temperatures, cold tyres, I find it a bit too squirrely for my liking. But no, they're keeping it clean. I think the bus stop's going to be a big tell just here, where these big curves, you can see how hard it's hitting them. I think it's going to be very telling the quality of drivers that we're getting here, that they can just take it so clean.
Yeah, because like you said, a little bit of an instant there. Oh, who has come round there?
Oh, hello. Yeah, you hit that little curve wrong, and it just sends you off a little bit, and I think he just collected the person behind him.
That is unfortunate.
Yeah, like we said, 60 minutes to go. If they can turn around the right direction, get it back in the pack, then I don't think they'll be too bothered.
There we go. Shall we go back and have a little look at what happened there, Jim?
Yeah, let's go have a look.
Yeah, fly back to us now. Let's find out what happened to him there. Also, we have a couple of cars over on the other side. We'll have a look at that. But unfortunately, Glenn Harvard, he's just come across the front of him by the look of it there.
Yeah, just not left enough room. It's hard to get rotated enough on these early laps. So I wouldn't put any kind of... Yeah, I wouldn't say there was any malice behind it. I think it's just... Sometimes you just can't rotate your car enough to leave enough space for two of you.
No, absolutely. Just settled into it now for a few minutes. We'll have a look back at that other incident. We saw Hayden sitting on the side of the track sideways. Let's find out what happened to him, Jim. So he's coming down to... Yep.
Looks like he's gone quite hot. Yeah, over-rotated the car. He just tried to brake that a little bit too late. I think so did the car in front, and you just lose that rear end with those cold tyres.
And someone else in front of him as well seems to have done the same. Oh, a lot of damage there, though.
Yeah, but the cars do luckily have what's called a fast repair. So it won't cover your tyres and it won't cover your fuel. But if you've got damage to your car, you can go into the pit lane once, you can stop, and it will fix your car instantly. You can do that once per race. So I imagine both these drivers will use that as soon as they can just to get back out there.
Yeah, they'll jump in and out. And we will have a look at that other driver. I'm not too sure who it was at the moment. We might have a look at him. We'll have a look at him in a little bit. But for now, at the moment, Sebastian's still sitting out in your P1 with Sam Berry and Harry Hartley-Price in P2 and P3 behind him. Followed by Craig Corish, Peter Duke. That's your top 5 there. Jan Whittaker, P1, P6 out on track. P1 in class at the moment. He is doing brilliantly so far today. He had a great qualifying.
Yeah,
And
him and
he's
Harry,
got a
like
good
right
race.
up there with between the pros, aren't they? They are
No,
having a
absolutely.
great race so far. I mean, I know we're only on lap 3, and there's plenty of time to go, but I mean, yeah, I mean, it's just showing you that he's made massive improvements over these last couple of races, and you like to see it. The more people you have racing, I think the better it gets.
No, absolutely. Jimmy, I've just been told, by the way, that other driver that we did see on the side of the track was actually Adam Wilson-Weir. So not a great start for him there from our winner last week.
No, and that was heavy damage on the back end. I mean, he should be able to like at least get back out there, but it's going to be tough trying to catch up to the back of the pack when you've got to repair this early on. If you have just a spin, you can get back in there, but I think when you've got to go into the pits, I think it's going to quite change his strategy. We'll have to see what he does from here on.
No, absolutely, absolutely. But currently seeing some good driving out on track at the moment. Again, a couple of incidences, but I expected a lot more right at the start of that race.
Yeah, they've done really well. I mean, it's not like we've seen them crashing into each other. It's just that cold tires, the back end slips out under braking, and that's basically all it's been so far.
Ooh, now, Jimmy, I'm just being told Christopher Haynes suffered a little bit last lap. Shall we go back and have a little look at that as well?
Yeah, let's see what's happened here.
So there you go. You got Christopher Haynes currently in the back of the 3 that you can see there out on track. Let's see what happens. So,
Little gaggle fighting together. Goes just a little hot, and I think he tried to brake just that little bit too late.
Break
Just
too late,
collects the
come
car
over
next
too
to
much.
him.
Yeah, that is
Yeah,
unfortunate for the lads there.
but it doesn't look like they've got a lot of damage. I don't see any parts falling off the car, so hopefully they can both get back out there. I mean, they bruised their egos, I think, more than the cars, so they should be all right.
Well, they've got 55 minutes left, Jim. Plenty of time to make up those positions and get themselves back up there. Try and get some more points.
Yeah, I mean, being in last, sometimes you just got to think, well, we're not fighting for first here, but we can still have a damn good race.
Absolutely, absolutely. Again, your P1, 2, and 3 and your pros is Sebastian at the moment with Sam Berry and Harry Hartley-Price behind him. In your AMs, you've got Jan Whittaker sitting in P1 in class with Harry 7 and Matthew Massey in P3. They're spread out a little bit today, aren't they, Jim? Normally we see quite consistency between the blue and the yellow at the side between the pros and the AMs. I know it's early still, but there's a few of these AMs poking their way up there, aren't they?
But I think that's what makes draft tracks. I mean, this is what I was talking about earlier with like Le Mans and Monza and Daytona, especially. Like these draft tracks, they make it a lot more interesting because even if you don't have the pace of the people faster than you, that draft pulls you into that pace anyway. So you kind of get that extra speed boost. You get more chance to kind of get in the mix and get fighting. And yeah, it's basically just it comes down to strategy and it comes down to just confidence, really. And we see here, I think Sam Berry is actually pushing Sebastian along there, giving a little bump draft. And it's stuff like that which massively helps on tracks like this.
Well, exactly. You've got to take advantage of that oval section on the track. It's. I think I had a little look at it earlier. I think I saw it. Was it 31 or was it 35 degrees the incline on that track? You're going to want to stick behind the driver in front of you, aren't you? Because you don't want to go up there.
Yeah, and they just set a 1:44.1 whilst working together, whilst pushing each other along. I mean, they'll be happy with that because you think their qualifying times was a 1:44 dead, so a tenth of a second slower than in less ideal conditions, heavy fuel, colder tires, and then just you're racing at this point. So I mean, they'll be happy with those times right up front.
They will be happy, and they're very close together at the minute. Again, like I said a minute ago, we've got just under 55 minutes left at racing left here today. They are very close, and they are racing almost from the off here. It's going to be a long night for us. They continue it like this.
Yeah, speaking of long nights, I have heard we have got a crash with Quinton and Jordan behind us. We're going to go take a look at that in a second.
Oh, what seems to have happened here? Are we looking at the same again, maybe? It's the
Yeah,
same
there's
part
the
of the track.
start-finish line, so they're going into turn 1. So Jordan, oh, I don't know. It's hard to tell whether one goes a bit too wide or doesn't leave enough room.
They both seem to be like in the middle of the line there, so it's like they've almost come together. I do, however, love that Lightning McQueen from Jordan Butler livery there. That is phenomenal. I didn't spot that.
Do you want to give him a little ka-chow for the listeners at home?
Ka-chow! And I'm not doing that again. But no, that is unfortunate for the boys there. They've just got to watch it when they come round. Someone has to give the space. But to me, there it looked like both of them had the
Yeah,
space.
one
They just
cuts
came
in, one
together.
cuts out. I think it's
Yeah.
just a bit of a racing incident there.
There you go. You got Sam Berry at the moment with Harry Hartley Price side by side as they come out the oval here, pushing up behind Sebastian. It looks like Harry's just taken the P2 position for now. But do you think Sam will get back out in front? He should do coming into this next corner.
I think we're going to see. Oh, it's so difficult to go side by side through there, and that's beautiful driving right there. I
That
mean,
was
there was
beautiful.
millimeters between them, and I think you've got to have a lot of respect for the drivers around you to be able to know and to give like that little space, but then to never touch. Oh, that's good racing there.
It just looks so good as well when they come round. All the headlights are on. The fantastic liveries are all gleaming away under the spotlights. It just makes some really good-looking racing.
Yeah, and a night race especially. I just love watching it. Just seeing all those different lights, and yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, it really, really, really is. Sebastian's still sitting out in P1 at the moment with Harry Hartley Price and Sam Berry swapping position. So Sam is now in P3 with Harry up to P2. Harry 7 though has taken a P1. I can't actually quite see Jan. Something may have happened
Yeah,
there.
he's down in ninth. He's
Oh,
dropped a
there
couple
he is.
places back, but I think that's just down to him, Harry, and Matthew all sort of fighting together. I don't think anything's actually happened.
Well, like Harry called earlier, well, Jan's had a good session on this race, and like we found out, he's had 24 hours, so he'll be looking to get himself back up there.
You can just see how powerful that draft is. Like those moves are effortless, and yeah, we would have seen that Matthew just backing out a little bit there because you don't really want to be going too wide through that section of the track. Like we saw earlier, you try to do it, you hit each other because there's barely enough room. So difficult to get the cars rotated, and you end up in a spin. So that's a good planning from Matthew there.
Now, Marshmallow, I see what you're trying to do to me in the comments here, mate.
That comment.
Well, be a tomater. That's about the best you're gonna get from me. I haven't watched cars in probably about 15 years, if I'm completely honest with you, my mate. That's about the best you're going to get. But I'll tell you what I will do. I'll give you one more. Ciao.
There we go. Nice, I love it. But yeah, didn't we have a few actual like race car drivers in cars? I remember there being Alonso and Hamilton were in the cars movie, weren't they? I think there was a couple of them.
There is one. Mr. Michael Schumacher was in there as well.
Was he in cars?
Well, he's mentioned in it. I don't know if he actually was in there, but his voice is there, and his name is in there. He's one of the fancy Italian Ferraris, of course he is. I believe it was the second one, but we're here to talk about Cars, the movie from Disney. I shouldn't have done that impression for you guys. I'm sorry to take the attention away from the drivers out of track with my phenomenal Cars impression.
They did actually have quite a few famous people in there. So yeah, Hamilton, Schumacher, Alonso who were in there. Then from NASCAR, we got Richard Petty, Dale Earnhardt Jr., which is amazing, and Mario Andretti.
Mario Andretti as well. I didn't know he was in that.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. But quickly back to the race there, Jim. With 12 minutes in, Sebastian's still sitting out in P1 on track at the minute with Harry Hartley Price and Sam Berry in P3, followed by Craig Corish, Peter Duke, and Alexander Claudio. Harry 7 currently leading P1 for the AMS at the minute, followed by Jan Whittaker, who we have seen a massive improvement from this week. Right on call, makes the move on Harry 7 and gets it right there. But followed P9, we got Matt Massey, and rounding out your top 10 would be Wayne Douglas.
So just quickly, we have had a crash with Eddie at the back, so we will cut to that in a second when we get a chance.
Mr. Grigonis is there. What's happened here today?
Driving on his own. I don't see any damage on the car just at the moment. But then, does he just get on the throttle a little too soon? Yeah, just turned a little bit too much. You kind of want to almost track a little bit wider, get a bit close to that curb on the outset. It's just cold tyres. It wouldn't be cold tyres anymore, but I think it's just maybe overheated a bit early on. Maybe got on the throttle a little too early.
Maybe, but we've seen this the last couple of weeks now. Obviously, like I said, we're in race 3 today. We have been following it since the start, and we keep seeing this problem that these drivers are just getting on that throttle a bit too soon. Now, Jim, do you think that's just because they want to get down and get to the next car ahead, or do you just think this is like maybe a setup issue, a track issue that some of these guys aren't used to? What are you thinking?
Well, I think some things are track, some things are the cars themselves. I mean, with this track specifically, because it is all big oval and you want the cars to go as fast as possible, you don't want them to be like bottoming out the whole time and slow and all this lot. So they have got a lot less downforce today than they normally would have. So that's going to cause a little bit more sketchiness on these corners. It could be a bit more hesitant. And we're seeing here that Christopher Haynes tracking the car out a little bit wider, taking that entry a little bit higher onto that curb and then cutting down. Just so that he can, like, you can get on the power a bit earlier because you're not turning the wheel as much and just keep it a bit safer. So, I mean, look at that. That bump draft is going on there.
The catch-up in this oval section of the track is unbelievable. I don't think I know many other tracks that have, well, any other tracks, sorry, that don't have the oval part in it, where there's so much speed to be gained. You can get so much. Sorry, Sebastian, 143.7. He's broken into those 143s, Jim. First one today.
Yeah, going faster than qualifying. I mean, that's the power of draft, and that's the power of a bump draft. It just works so well around this, and yeah, if you're Sam here, you're gonna want to be working with Harry, and you're gonna want to get up to Sebastian. Just try and get into that mix. Kind of, you want to be close to each other the whole time, and then it's that last lap. I think around this track especially, that last lap is gonna be so crazy for a lot of people. Just everyone's gonna want to make that move on the straight with that slipstream.
They're all going to be scrambling, aren't they, as they come around that last section of the oval before they hit the start-finish line?
Yeah, I think we're going to see some craziness there.
Well, you never know, because they're all sitting quite close at the minute. There's a few seconds between them here and there. A couple of you drivers are within a second and a half a second, but there's plenty of time. A lot of racing to be done. Again, we've got the pits. What's going to happen? We don't know until we get to the end of it. But we are going to give you all the racing here again from the Tanzo Racing Group, again brought to you by Fresh Rubber and Clark St. James Motorsport today. We are just over 15 minutes into today's race. Sebastian's still sitting your P1 out in the pros at the minute with Jan Whittaker. Now, Jim, so I'm going to go on about him again, because this is a massive turnaround from Jan. We saw him in the first race. He didn't have a great start to the season at all, but he's new to the season. He's new to the league, new to this style of racing, so you have to give him his dues. But with 3 weeks in, he's sitting P1 in class at the moment. That is phenomenal improvement in 2 weeks.
Oh, a huge improvement. And I mean, I know they say practice makes perfect, and that 24 hours would have done him a world of good. But hopefully, that experience now that he's had in the car with that big racing event that we had on over the weekend, well, that iRacing had on, not we specifically, but
yeah,
I think something like that, he would have learned a lot about the car in that time. And just getting that confidence on the brakes, confidence finding where the grip is, confidence racing with other people, and we should see him start to battle through the field a little bit more, get a bit more fighty with those arms throughout the rest of the season, I think.
Well, he's doing all right, like we said. He's up in P1 class, P7 out on track. He has got Wayne Douglas behind him, and we know how good Wayne Douglas can be.
Yeah, I mean, they all look good, and I think what's really interesting is you can see the different names popping up around the different tracks we've had so far, like who's getting higher, who's further down the field, and it's chopping and changing so much. You never really know. I mean, on the first race we had, was it Peter Duke had just such a phenomenal lead, and then now he's down in 5th, and Sebastian's up there with like in 1st place, and
exactly.
Yeah,
And we
Jan Whittaker was last,
Harry.
now he's 1st, and it's chopping and changing so much.
Exactly. We saw Harry again, Harry 7, P1 in class at the moment, currently down to P2. So he's not as high as he was last week, but there's still plenty of time, isn't there?
Yeah, and he'll be thinking strategy at this point as well.
I think you've got it. I think it's one of the things that he did say. It's not an ideal track for him, and it's not an ideal setup, but all of these drivers, as you mentioned, they're all on exactly the same setup. So there's not going to be too much between them, apart from driver quality.
Oh, seeing a little overtake here from Sam Berry just going into turn 1, doing a bit of leapfrog in there, gets that overspeed, they swap positions, and then the car behind gets the draft. And you can almost gain quite a lot of time doing that, because then you're not having to sort of stay behind one person fighting the entire time. You can use that extra speed you get from the draft to almost pull you like further into the lead and catch up to those other cars.
Well, that's what you want, really, isn't it? You want to gain maximum speed in every bit of track that you can on here while you're out there tonight. And these drivers are finding it. We've seen it. We are 11 laps in so far, 18 minutes into this race, and we have seen so much drafting action, so much speed gained and overtakes from just them 2 sections out on track alone at the moment. But especially that last bit going into the start finish onto that last section of the track, Jim. That is one of the main areas that I'm going to be looking at the end of the race, especially.
Yeah, I mean, we saw it from Quinton just here when he was going through turn 1. what I really appreciate about a lot of these drivers is that they know when to let someone past. Because a lot of times they'll force a fight, they'll force side by side too much, and you just lose time. Then you fall out the draft, and then it's all game over pretty much from there. But we saw there, Quinton was in first, and then Joel was coming up behind him. He got the overtake into turn one. They just beautifully swapped positions, and then they carried on going as if nothing. Well, as if they're still racing. It's just smart thinking. I really like it.
Some great driving, Jim. Some great driving. Now, Glenn Blard, I am being told he's had a little incident on track, so we're going to go and have a little look at that now, see what's happened to him. Out on his own. So, are we thinking it's what's been going on so far tonight? Is he going to get on the throttle a little bit too
the
early?
other car spin. Yeah, it's exactly the same thing. Exactly the same part of the track. You just turn that little bit too much, get on the throttle a little bit too early, and yeah, it's not ideal. But I mean, no damage, so they can get back out there. They can get racing again. He's not he's not too far off the drive. It looks like he might have pitted actually, so he could be pitting early because he's already lost time. Maybe get those tires a bit cooler, get into the get into the pit lane, get your fuel up now, and then get back out. Oh, same things happened there. Just over-rotate the car a little bit, maybe a little bit too heavy on the brakes.
Joel Loudon there suffering a little bit there as he's facing the back end as we stick on board with Quentin as he drove away from him there. That is unfortunate there for the lad, for Joel.
Unfortunate for Joel, but then also being Quentin here, you got to be thinking, I'm now 6-7 seconds off of the car in front. I got to catch up. I was using Joel. We were leapfrogging each other. We were pushing each other to catch up to those other cars. Now Joel's gone. He's gonna have to rely on Raymond to catch up and help him out a bit there.
That's the thing with a track like this, though, Jim, and we've said it countless times already tonight. You want to be close to another driver because you want that draft. You need that draft to propel you past the driver in front of you and to help you catch up to the pack in front of you if they're squabbling, maybe. He won't be too happy with that at the minute. It's 6 seconds up to the next driver. But he's just got to get his head down. Again, Raymond might come up and help him out there. He's only 1.7, 1.8 behind him at the moment. And he'll want him to catch up with him, I think, there, just purely to help them both out and get close to...
Yeah, they'll be working together, get close to each other, and then push each other all the way through. It's, yeah, some amazingly tight, close racing here.
No, so, very, very close racing, and we want to see more of it. We really do, because it's what gives us the excitement and the action out on track. But Jim, yeah, it's an American track here that we're at. Typically, American tracks are phenomenally wide, and we see that in the oval part. A lot of side-by-side can happen there, even though you're going to probably want to stick in the draft to keep that speed. Now, when they're on this the road section of the track, Jim, what would be your thinking down here? Are you brave enough to go side-by-side? Because it's quite wide in parts, but when you're coming around some of these corners, when it swaps, especially in the bus stop, you do the left, you go to right, you go to right, you're doing another left. You're all over the track on the driving line. What's your thought process for the road section mainly?
For me, I like to just tuck in behind another driver. Because even if you are like maybe a tenth or two quicker than the other person, I think you're going to end up losing way more than that when you go side by side through those sections. And on a draft track, on a big windy, there's no slow sections really. I mean, there's a couple of parts where you go down to first gear maybe, but like you're still going at some speed, like 80, 90 kilometers an hour really is the slowest you're going to be hitting. And even if you lose that time, like you lose more going side by side, so you don't really want to be forcing other people to be slower with you by going too wide. Like you said, it's 30 to 40 feet wide, I think, in some parts of it. And
oh wow!
Yeah, it's a really wide track. You can easily, I mean, if you watch NASCAR or anything, you can see how many cars that go side by side in one go in some of these sections. And
sorry, I was just going to say that's part of the reason I absolutely love this track, because I really do love my NASCAR. Don't get me wrong, I couldn't tell you every driver out there, but I do enjoy watching it, and I love watching the Daytona 500, which is held here every year.
Yeah, I missed it if it has happened this year, but I do try to catch it when I can. And I mean, people think that NASCAR is just turning left, but what we're seeing here as well is something very similar. It's all strategy. It's how you work with the people around you, and that's what makes it interesting.
Well, Jimmy, I'm just going to let you know, you'll be pleased to know you haven't missed the 500 yet. That is actually on the 15th of February. So you haven't missed it. We're still going to be we'll be watching that one together. You know we will. For now, the action out on track here. Looking at the times, Jim, there is now starting to be quite a bit of a gap between the drivers. You look between Harry Hartley Price and Jan Whittaker, 2 to 3 seconds, 5 seconds, 6 seconds up in fifth and fourth. There's some gaps that need to be filled here. Are the drivers going to be happy with this gap?
Well, like what was mentioned during the interviews we did pre-race, we haven't touched on yet is fuel saving. So one thing that is quite good about tracks like this and working with other people is you can afford to fuel save a lot more if you're following someone and what that's really good for is you get to pit later, so you get to drive on a lighter car for longer, and you get a shorter pit stop because you're not needing to fuel up as much, so you can save a lot of time. So say for example like we're on board here with Sam Berry going into turn 1 there, he can lift off the throttle so much sooner than Sebastian in front of him and just coast further into the corner, and that's so much fuel that he's saving, and he can do it every single time because he's being pulled along in that draft. So we're going to go up here next. There's a flat out section of track, this is where it gets a bit sketchy on those early laps, but it's quite a fun segment, and then you get the heavy braking zone, and this is probably the slowest part of the track where you're going, like we said, about 80-90 kilometers an hour, and then we got this get on the power as soon as you can. Look at Sam tracking out left there, not having to turn the wheel as much just so you can get on the throttle a bit earlier. And here it looks sharper than it is, but it's this big flowing zone. You see him carrying all that speed going wide up onto the embankment there.
Very quick out of that corner, which is why it took him so wide, wasn't it?
Yeah, and it just pulls you up, and then now we're onto that big oval section. You can see how tilted the cars are and how sort of massive the oval section of the track really is. I mean, look how far away some of those lights are. And then we've got the bus stop here, so you're heavy on those curves. I mean, look how much speed Sam carried through there. It's just phenomenal. But
so
it's so sketchy. You're bouncing all over the place. You're very gently just tapping the throttle, tapping the brakes just to rotate the car. It's a really cool section of track because what people don't realise is in a race car you don't always steer. Oh, looks like they're pitting now. I think that looked like Sam definitely telling him that he was pitting, and then Sebastian reacting to that. Oh, late on the brakes there. They're side by side.
Very late on the brakes, side by side down into the pit lane. There you go.
Yeah. If Sebastian's got to pit in before Sam, he's going to be stuck out there waiting for Sam to pass him first because he's not going to be able to cut in. But
absolutely.
Sorry, just to touch on it quickly. Yes, these as a race car, you don't always steer with the steering wheel. You steer with the pedals. Sometimes using that brake, it changes the weight balance of the car. So you basically put more of the front in, more of the back in, and you kind of use the throttle to push you out wide, or the brake to pull you in. And there's a lot of things that these drivers have got to think about while they're fighting other people. The fuel saving, you're steering with your feet and your hands, and then like how you've the strategy for the race, your pit entry, when do you pit? There's a lot going through these guys' minds, and it's phenomenal.
Well, there you go. You're seeing it right now. A lot of the drivers have come into pit up in the top 10 at the moment. I think we've got pretty much all of them, apart from one out at the minute, one or two out at the moment. So that's Sam and Sebastian leading the way at the moment. But the pits, they're going to play a strategy in this race, aren't they, Jim? But again, if you're that draft car, you're fuel saving, you're using the slipstream in front of you, it's going to work out for you. So I think Harry might have been on something there saying he wasn't too confident with going out in P1. But I think he'll be quite happy with that one, with the way it's going for him at the moment. But no, you are more than right, Jim. Pits are going to play a massive part in this, and we're seeing a lot of them do it now. Sam's obviously got in just before Sebastian's were going side by side into the pits, but Sam's benefited from that, and he's now nearly a second up on Sebastian at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, he's gained so much time with that pit strategy, and I think that's what a lot of it is. Like we said, yeah, it is strategy, and it is just. This is, I think, that could be the pivotal moment for everyone. After this point, I think you're going to see people start to settle in a little bit more, and we're going to start to see the final kind of finishing times roughly, because like we said, that last lap, I think, is when it's going to start to get real crazy, and that's when it's going to get real exciting.
We always see it in the last couple of laps, that last couple of minutes of the race, it gets a little bit heated, it gets a little bit tasty out there. And we saw it last week, we saw a couple of very late incidents We want to see everybody finish the race, but we love a bit of action out on the track. But Jimmy, talking about some action out on track, I am being told Wayne Douglas, just before we jumped into the pit with Sam and Sebastian there, has had an incident. Let's go and find out what he's done.
Yeah, let's see what's happened here.
There we go. Wayne
So
Douglas.
going through that bus stop, those heavy curves that we were talking about, where you got to try and get the car rotated, and he just, yeah, he just clips that little yellow that big curve on the inside, and just spins you around. But he kept it out of the wall, and I mean, he'll be happy with that.
Yeah, well, you've got to.
Well, he won't be happy
careful.
with it, but he'll be happy that he kept it out of the wall anyway.
No, absolutely. But you just touched on it there, especially in that bus stop. The you've got to be really careful because those big yellow bollards essentially is what they are. They're just little curbs out on track, but they will off-settle the car so much. And look at Hayden Young sitting behind Quentin Clumpert. He's getting that draft, trying to get past him. But no, there's a lot of racing to be done. There's a lot of draft to be picked up. There's a lot of time to be picked up. And like you touched on a second ago, you can save your fuel, you can save your tyres a little bit, but there's so much to be thinking about. You've got to drive, again, with your hands. You've got to drive with your feet. There's so much for these drivers out here today. But looking at Peter Duke here, he's currently chasing down Alexander Claudio out in front of him. Half a second in it at the moment. So not too much, but as you come around on that oval, we've seen it lap after lap so far. That time will start to decrease as he's sitting in that slipstream. It's so good for them to get into that. It just helps them out so much. But it's a personal favourite, a track like this, a Roval. I mentioned it a second ago. I love NASCAR. So an oval track is brilliant to watch for me. But when you add the road section in, and then you add a car so fun, like the GT3s, there's just so much fun to be had out there. Again, these drivers, they're all competing. They all want that top spot. But I'm sure, even with the gripes of the Daytona setup that they're all on today, I'm sure they're all having an absolute blast out there. It's a great track. But just going to have a little look. And again, we're going to go Sam Berry's currently sitting up in P1 at the moment, just over half a second. He's 7/10 actually above Sebastian in P2, followed by Craig Corish in P3. Alexander Claudio's P4 with Peter Duke sitting behind him in P5. And right as I said it, cuts the commentator, Peter Duke takes over Alexander Claudio for P4 and 5. P6 out on track, but P1 in class would be Jan Whittaker. Phenomenal race again. I've said it a couple of times already. I'm going to say it again. He's having a phenomenal drive today. Followed by Matt Massey and Harry 7th, P2 and P3 in class, 7th, 8th, respectively on track. But you've got a couple of pros with Wayne Douglas and Quentin Clumpert rounding out your top 10. Hayden Young sitting in 11th with Raymond Van Zutphen, do apologise, sitting in P12. Followed by Jordan Butler, Ryan Clark, Christopher Haynes, Joshua Smith, Gareth Newton, Adam Wilson-Weir, who we did have that little incident earlier, with James Vardigans and Mark Wesley. That is your top 20 at the moment.
So just to say, we have had a little crash just a bit further back. We can go back and take a look between Peter and Alex.
What has happened here then to Mr. Claudio? Because I was just waxing lyrical about him.
Yeah, coming into turn 1. Just gets on the grass, but I don't think that's done anything. And he just over-rotated that car, I think, a little bit there. Might have had a little bit of bit of grass, bit of dirt on that inside tyre, and just lost the back end.
Well, the comments have just picked it up, James, from a Mr. Wookie Wanderer. Where's Mr. Harry Hartley Price gone? Because I actually don't know where he's disappeared to.
Well, weirdly, on my timing board, it said that he changed tyres, so I don't know if that's happened and he lost position through that. But he has just disappeared, hasn't he?
No, he has. There we go. Down 24th. Currently, he's out actually. That is unfortunate for him.
The race.
Something must have happened there. Not too sure at the moment, but that's unfortunate for the lad. Harry Hartley Price having a good race so far today. He got himself up to I think about P3 at one point, but he's had a good races all season. I wonder what's happened to him there. We'll find out at some point. Hopefully it's nothing major for him, but he's out of today's race. So 23 drivers left out on track with you currently now for the rest of this race. Just over halfway through at 33 minutes gone. Pits, James, we've seen a lot of them pit. I think the majority have pitted now. So you are into the last 25 minutes into this race. What's going to be going through your head? You're the racer out of the two of us. What are you going to be doing right now?
Well, I think it depends on where you are, but I think you know where your fuel's at, you know where you are on track, you know who you're fighting with. I think what you want to do is you want to set yourself up for the best possible run out of the last turn. You want to make sure you keep as close as you can to the cars in front. Unless they're slowing you down, then you got to get in front. But you need to let the person you're with know that you're working together. And then you've got to think where their strengths are, where their weaknesses are. Do you overtake early? Do you overtake late? Do you try and slow them down before the bus stop, or do you just go for that just as quick as you can, get as much draft as you can on the outside, well, on the at the end of the race, and then just from basically what we're seeing from here onwards, they've gone through the bus stop. It's just one big run down to turn one. I don't know. There's so much strategy to think about, and it depends where you are, because like here, for example, Hayden Young, we're on board with him now. Is he going to push, or is he thinking, all right, I'll get a bit of slipstream, I'll go round, or is he going to do both? Maybe he pushes them along, and because you've got so much run and so much slipstream, you can push both of you, get that extra speed on both of you with the draft as well, and then leapfrog it. So there's so much to think about, and for me personally, I'd be like he is here, just push each other along, see if you can catch the cars in front. Maybe hope for, I mean, you never want to hope for it, but maybe like hope for a little incident or two in behind you or ahead of you, and then just to get you a couple extra freebies. But I mean, I also want to point out, sorry, I just seen Jan Whittaker up in 5th place now.
Phenomenal.
I mean, where does that come from?
Honestly, I'm going to sound like an absolute fanboy because I've been waxing lyrical about him all race so far. But this is an absolute phenomenal turnaround from Jan. That 24 hours seriously have helped him out. Now, I think his sections that he was driving that 24 hours, he's probably just used as an absolute massive practice for today's race.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like he's got a newfound confidence. He's just doing so well. I mean, he's got a bit of a gap to the car in front. He's got 6 seconds, but like we said, if you mess up a corner, you can easily lose more than 6 seconds. I mean, you don't want to say it, but I mean, chance for podium?
Let's not get ahead of ourselves too yet. I want everyone to have a phenomenal race, and obviously whoever's going to get that podium is going to be getting that podium. But I tell you, if Jan does pull it off, absolutely phenomenal. Now, so I just want to go back to something. Wookie Wanderer asked what happened to Harry. We have been confirmed to us, Mr. Wookie Wanderer. He did DC, unfortunately for him, so he disconnected there. So that is an unfortunate way to end his race. But we've had another crash out on track, Jim. We've had Mr. Gareth Newton crash. So should we go have a look at that and see what's happened there for him?
So where are we? Looks like he's coming up on the bus stop, if I'm correct. Yep, there's the bus stop. So it's big, heavy curves.
Has he hit that?
Has he hit
that big curb again?
Oh, he just clipped that. If you saw it there, that big pointy inside yellow curb, he clipped it on the.
I tell you what, I'm wondering if we can just have another little quick look at that one, because it seemed he just touched it and it sent him quite far out there. That is unfortunate for him. Unlucky, Gareth. Unlucky, mate. So yeah, we're gonna have a quick look. So yeah, Jim, talk us through what's happened.
Yeah, so it's clean through there. I mean, you want to take a lot of the curves here, but it just looks like it might be going a little bit too narrow, too close to the inside. And you see it just here, those big yellow blocks on the inside. He just clips one of them. It unsettles the car, and then you just lose it. It's so hard to regain composure once you lose it through there. And then sadly, bonk into the wall. Yeah.
I touched on it a second ago. Those little yellow curves are horrible. You may as well consider them bollards, because you want to stay well out of the way of them. You just saw it right there. You touch one. We've seen it twice now. You touch it, it's going to unsettle that car massively, and you're going to be facing the wrong way. That back end's going to come round. Oh, hello. And you're going to be facing the wrong way.
Gonna get that on a t-shirt next, aren't you? But
I think I'm going to hold on to that, you know. Thank you, Harry, for picking that one up for me.
But I think what's like really like you got to think about sometimes is the threat difference between someone on iRacing going over those big curves and you hit that wall. I think people do that in real life. I mean, obviously not the wall parts specifically, but like people in real life are out there in these GT3 cars, $500,000 on the line, and the difference between you and not having £500,000 car is one little curb.
No, absolutely. Sorry, Jim.
Just a little incident with Axel and Claudia there.
So I wonder what happened to him there. We'll have a quick look now, but he's just dipped his front tire onto that grass, which has pulled him in and spun him around. Back end's come around, Jimmy. What's happened? The back end's come around to say, "Oh, hello."
You got to stop.
I'm so sorry for this, guys. I'm so sorry for this. I'm excited for this race. I'm in a very hyper mood today. And we're seeing some great driving. We're seeing a few incidents here and there. Not much between the actual drivers. They're getting on that throttle a little bit too early. We've seen it time and time and time again. But they've got 20 minutes left of this race. Hopefully, we won't see too much more of them. We see some really good, exciting action. But Jimmy, just want to draw your attention to the top of the table. Sam Berry is now up in P1, just under half a second above Sebastian.
Yeah, Sebastian's gaining a little bit, but as I say that, he lost a little bit of time there. I think just different lines coming out of that corner there because he looked like he gained and lost about a couple tenths there. But I mean, Sam Berry's keeping consistent, quite a decent pace in front. Do you reckon it's down to maybe Sebastian not wanting to work together? Maybe bring like Craig into the mix a bit more. Do you think he's thinking about that and get a bit of a fight? Maybe slow Sam down, and then I mean,
no, absolutely.
I think to your mind at this moment.
I think you've hit the nail right on the head there with that one. I don't think he'll want to be bringing Craig into the mix because that's just going to cause a lot of problems for the two drivers up ahead because that's just another person they're going to have to fight. And it's another person to get into the slipstream and potentially get ahead of you. And with 20 minutes to go, Jim, you do not want to be giving up your positions. The drivers in my head now, what I think, they're going to start to really be locking in and looking at the end of this race.
Yeah, I don't know if you've spotted a little guest appearance in the YouTube chat. Harry Price there.
Harry. What happened, buddy? Let's have a look. So he went too far on my pit box and ran out of fuel to reverse. Harry. Oh, dear.
That's a beautiful way to go out there. I think that's phenomenal. That is.
Oh, Harry. That is. I tell you what, that's one of the out there excuses that I've seen for DNF in a race. There, these things happen. You've got to be mindful of stuff like your fuel and your tires and everything like that. Especially when you're out there for 60 minutes. You've been out there for nearly he was probably out there for about half an hour before that happened. So that is unfortunate, so lad. Harry, sorry that's happened to you, mate. I'm sure you'll learn for next time, and we'll see you back in next week.
Yeah, I mean, we've all ran out of fuel at some point. I mean, I had a race in Le Mans in IMSA on iRacing not too long ago, and I ran out of fuel on the pit lap, and I basically got stuck just before the. Oh no, it's at the end of the race. Sorry, at the end of the race, I ran out of fuel, and with 2 corners to go, and very kindly, a guy behind me actually bump drafted me over the finish line, and I gave a lot of thank yous to that guy.
Well,
but it happens, these kind of things.
There you go. We're just sitting on with Mark Wesley, who's had James Moore come round the outside of him, just there in the white car ahead, in that beautiful McLaren.
Yeah, they're having quite a feisty little battle back here.
They are now. I don't know, something happened with him a second ago because he seemed to have slowed off and kind of gave the position away. I don't know if that's what did happen. We joined it a little bit late into that corner, but it looks like he kind of gave him that position more than anything.
I think you might have overshot it and then just gave them that little bit of room. You don't want to cut across back, and you don't want to sort of force people into the wrong place if you're having to overslow because of a mistake you've made. So I think you just kept it wide, let him pass, and then, like I said, he's still within that draft range, so he'll make up the time. They'll get back to fighting in no time. I was seeing it with James Moore actually a bit further back, just going for an overtake on Gareth Newton there.
There you go.
But
a lot happening out there on track with these driver battles at the moment.
No, we're nearly 45 minutes in, so 3/4 of the way through, and the cars are still this close next to each other. There's so many battles going on; it's amazing. And I'm really liking the respectful racing that we're seeing, and lots of room given. And they're able to go side by side through these little difficult sections. They know when to let people pass. They know when to overtake. It's phenomenal.
It's great to see when you have real clean but exciting action driving out on track. Like, again, I've said it countless times. I want to see everybody finish the race. Now, unfortunately, if you're out for whatever reason, like overshooting your pit box, you haven't got enough fuel to reverse, not mentioning any names, Harry, but it's just unfortunate. I want to see everybody finish, and you get great little battles like this. Part of me wants to see some kind of crazy action happen and maybe someone's still around. But the sensible side of me is no, do exactly what we just saw there a second ago. He's gone out wide. He's conceded the position. He's not going to fight it on that corner exactly.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more there. It's like a good, respectful race, and where everyone finishes as well is always the best to see. I mean, from a viewing standpoint, sometimes a little incident can be exciting to watch, but you still want them all to finish across the finish line there.
No, of course you do. And we're seeing Harry in the lovely red Aston Martin. They're chasing Hayden behind him. They're having a proper little battle today, aren't they?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you get to see a few gaps like building up over here. Everyone kind of being over that 1 second mark. There's only a few people within that second, and it's kind of dropping back. There you go. See two people within a second of each other at the moment.
Hayden and Harry, they're having the fight at the moment.
Yeah, I do wonder if maybe at this point in the race, I know the track's cold, it's a night race, but I wonder if those tyres are starting to get a little too worn, and people are starting to lose a little bit of time here and there, and everyone's just starting to spread out a little bit.
Well, I'll tell you what will be a good giveaway of that. If we see a few more drivers losing that back end, you'll know that the degradation's going down quickly on them there at that point. Again, 3/4 of the race through, they're into the last 15 minutes almost. You've got to be careful, but at the same time, you are gunning for that position. We said it at the top of the show. You're going to want to be as high up as you can. You want to get as many points as you can because you have got that prize pool at the end of the season from Vector Motorsport. Remember, £500 for P1 and £100 for P2. There's a lot to play for these drivers.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, like, you don't really want to be. I mean, when you're in the car, you're not thinking about the a nice little overtake there, just cutting on the inside, getting that inside line, then I think he just clipped that big curb there. Spun round. That's such a shame.
That is really unfortunate. We'll go back and have a look at that in a second. But Ryan Clark, I'm also being told, has had a crash out on track. So we're going to have a look at that first, and then we'll come back and have a look at that incident just there a second ago with Alex.
So what's happened here? I mean, we've seen a lot. This is where we've seen a lot of people get on the throttle too early and just spin out a little bit. So what's going to happen? Tracks out wide. It just has no grip.
I tell you, he's done exactly what you said a few laps ago to do. You need to track out wide so you don't spin out like that. He went out wide, so that's telling me them tires are going.
Yeah, they're getting way too much heat in them, and they're just getting a little bit too worn. But yeah, we can go back and take a look at that other little
Yeah, let's have a look with Mr. Claudio. What's happened here to Alexander?
He just gets his wheel on the wrong side of that massive curb, and if you think of it like a triangle, and he's just kind of got stuck on the other side of it and just lost it.
No, absolutely, and it's going to happen. You're going to hit those curbs. They're going to unsettle your car, and also you want to stay away from that grass as well, because as soon as you dip your toe, and we saw it a little earlier, it's going to pull you in and it's going to spin you around. You've really got to be locked in, especially at this last portion of the race where we're seeing a lot of these guys' tyres degrading here, and they aren't going to be able to go maximum maybe that they want to. They're going to have to go within the limits that they've got available to them.
Yeah, speaking of going to the limits, Sam Berry pulling a 3-second lead now over Sebastian. I mean, Sebastian was so comfortably in the lead at the beginning for so long, and now after that sort of frankly brilliant pit entry from Sam there, he's put himself up in first, and he's just flying away.
No, absolutely. Well, he got out of the pits for him. He jumps him in the pits, didn't he? So it's like you said, he might not have put as much fuel in, no tyre changes. He's had a quicker pit, got himself out into P1, kept it, and now he's 3 seconds ahead. I think that's the biggest gap we've seen between P1 and P2 all race so far.
Yeah, and I think this is where I think a bit more strategy might be coming into play here. Do we reckon that Sebastian is fuel saving at this point? Do you reckon he went for like a lot lighter refuel? Well, I suppose they both came out at the same time, so both him and Sam should roughly be on the same amount of fuel. In fact, Sam even came out a little bit quicker, so if they are fuel saving, it's going to be a rough last few laps, I've got to tell you that. But yeah, we'll see when we get to it. I mean, hopefully, I mean, we're starting to see 2, 3, 5 second gaps building up all throughout the race here. So,
absolutely. These guys are going to be mindful though with Craig. He's sitting just under 6.5 seconds behind. But if they're watching their tyres and too much, that's going to allow Craig to come right back in, and we're going to see an exciting end of the race for maybe P1 here. You got 3 drivers fighting for it, 2 massive draft sections, and a lot of overtaking spots. Anything could happen in the last 12 minutes of this race.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the gap they've got, I mean, it's a long pit lane, but if Sam did underfuel and he did have to come in to refuel at the end, he could still come out top 3, top 4 maybe, because there's a big gap from Peter to Craig there.
No, there absolutely is. 22 seconds in it at the minute. Now, I just said there's what, we're just under 12 minutes to go. 22 seconds on a track like this when you haven't got anyone in front of you and anyone behind you to help you draft. That's a big ask for him to be getting back up there with the rest of them, isn't it?
Yeah, because I mean, a pit's kind of usually around that sort of like 25, 30 seconds. But it depends really on the entry and the exit that you get. I mean, it's got a long pit exit, so I think you're probably losing around 30 to 35 seconds in total, maybe. So, I mean, I think he could make that and still get maybe in the top 3 if he's able to just underfuel and pit again, which would be a crazy strategy. I mean, I don't think we've seen a 2-stop yet.
No, absolutely not. But he's still gaining 4 seconds now. Jimmy's up on Sebastian at the moment. Like something's Sebastian's sitting back or Sam's getting his foot down extra hard and found a little bit more.
Little wobbly
Bit of a
there.
wobble there. Bit of a wobble from James Moore.
Yeah, I think he just clipped that grass on the inside and just lost it a little bit. But hey, well held, well held.
The worst thing for me on a track, apart from gravel, is grass. I cannot help but find the grass every time I step out onto any track that has it. And it will just, you dip a toe in and it will just pull you right in, spin you around. And what these drivers don't want is for that to happen and you hit a wall, especially with 10 minutes to go. You do not want any major instances now. Get your head down, get locked in, and get the best position you can out on track. We see it from driver after driver, race after race. These last 10 to 15 minutes, they really do lock in, and you do see some good action going on the track. But Jim, I just want to pull it back again. Jan is still sitting out in P5 at the moment. Now he's got Wayne Douglas. There it is. Wayne Douglas. That curse of the commentator has got me 3 times today. I think I might just be quiet when it comes to a bit of close racing. But no, Young down into P6. Wayne Douglas, obviously the pro, he's gone ahead of him and he seems to be taking off a little bit now. But again, Jan is having a great race today. He's going to end up P1 in class if he carries on like this. And I don't see him having any issues today like we've seen previous weeks.
No, but there's also a couple other names that I'd like to point out having a great race. I mean, we've talked about the guys at the top, Sam, Sebastian and Craig, but also Matthew Massey and Harry Seven, keeping it in the mix with those pros, and they've just been having just a phenomenal racer. I mean, let's be honest, everyone that's still in the running at the moment has had a fantastic race. There's been a few little bumps here and there, a few little skids and spins, but overall, I mean, Matthew Massey has been performing so well, and Harry Seven as well, to keep it up there in that top 3 of the AM.
Absolutely. And again, they've had phenomenal races today in the AM class, P2 and P3 respectively out on track. Harry has got Hayden, the pro, just in front of him. About 5 seconds in it there. See what happens with that one. But all 3 of those top drivers, they've had a great race today. They've well and truly mixed it in with the pros and thrown the cat amongst the pigeons. They're not just going to let the pros sit up there and do what they're doing and sit there having their own little race in the AMs. They want to be competing.
Yeah,
but,
I mean, look at this, Matthew catching massively on Jan as well. So I wonder if maybe Jan's changing up his strategy, or maybe he's just overdone the tyres, or something's gone on, because he's dropping back quite a lot. So what do you reckon?
We saw him just break under a second behind him, and I don't know. Like I said, it seems Jan's had a really good race today. I haven't seen any real incidents from him today or anything like that, or heard anything from the stewards or anything what's gone on. But I don't know. I think it's what you said, Jim. I think it's a cold night on this track. These tyres are just going to get absolutely eaten alive. There's so much draft to be had. There's so much to think about. I think maybe he's thinking. I'm not too sure. I can't call it, Jim. But at the minute, Matt Massey, it has dropped off a little bit now. He's not as close, but we'll come back and have another look at that one in a minute. But Quinton Klumpert catching up to Harry Seven here, the pro chasing the AM down.
Yeah, I just want to point out, just quickly on that previous topic though, I mean, Jan's fastest lap a 1:44.8, and his last lap a 1:50. And then Matthew's best lap of 1:45.3, last lap at 1:46.7. So the consistency of Matthew Massey compared to Jan's phenomenal individual laps, and then you got Matthew Massey's kind of overall consistency. I mean, it's two different. Oh, that was some heavy curves there. He was lucky to keep it in the running there. But I think it just shows different kinds of drivers, the different driving styles, and how they work against each other. But yeah, Hayden Young there. Oh, that was some that was sketchy going through the bus stop there, but he did well to hold it.
No, absolutely, absolutely. But Jimmy, we've got a shout out in the comments here. G6XRJ, big up, Spectre Racing. Got a fan there.
Oh, and don't forget Wookie Wonder with fresh rubber for the win.
Oh, so it just came through for me, that one.
Fans, isn't it?
No, absolutely, absolutely. And comment, like, viewers, let us know what do you think of today's race? Do you think it's been a good one? I've enjoyed it today. There's been a lot less off-track incidents and crashes than I thought there would be, which is great for these drives. It just shows the level that these guys are at.
Yeah. Speaking of which, Quinton Clumpert getting very close to Harry Seven here. He's been looking to make that move sometime soon. I think Harry's going to be a bit worried here because he is gaining a bit on Matthew and that fight between Matthew and Jan. But having Quinton overtake him, it's going to cost him a bit of time, especially with 5 minutes to go of the race. You do not want to be losing time here. So I wonder what he's going to do. Is Quinton just going to follow him into the bus stop and then just go for that nice little leapfrog that we've seen so much early on? Just get that pace coming out of that, get past. You don't slow each other down. Or is he going to want to make the move going into it?
I think he's going to go in. Well, because if you look at Quinton's time, mate, he has absolutely ate that time down in the draft section here. As they
who have they just passed there? I think that's a lapped car just letting them through there. Yeah.
Matt Massey.
Oh, that was Matthew Massey. Oh. So did he get a slowdown penalty potentially? Because it seems odd to just let them pass. I mean, we were just praising how well he was doing, and then.
No, exactly. And they've seen him drop off and let Quinton and Harry go through in front of him. Not too sure what's really happened there with Matt Massey. But talking about losing time, Jim, look at Sam Berry and Sebastian at the top. Sam has now pulled out nearly a 10-second, 9.2 at the moment lead above Sebastian at the moment.
Yeah, he's found that extra gear in the car, hasn't he? And he's pulling away. But we'll see. I mean, I don't wanna dob him in a bit, but his mate in the chat here has said that he underfueled the car a bit. So, I mean, underfueled car, you're going to be quicker, but you're going to want to be fuel saving. So
you're gonna risk it at the end, aren't you? And with him gaining about 8 seconds there in the last couple of laps, I don't think he's fuel saving.
No, not at all. But yeah, it should be an interesting. Oh, someone just dipping in. Is that?
I believe Wayne Douglas just came out of the pit. Sam Berry's gone into the pit now, and Raymond's up then. Do you think that underfuel has done them?
Yeah, I think they've pushed a little too hard rather than saving. But like we said, he's got the time. Sam can still come out in P3.
He will, but I tell you what, Sebastian would have been ecstatic seeing him going to the pits there coming around, especially with an 8-9 second gap between the two of them before he did.
Do you reckon Matthew Massey maybe was a victim of the underfueling a little bit there?
I believe so. It seems like a few of these drivers might have underfueled because there's more drivers coming in towards the end than I ever expected today.
Yeah, I mean, I think they all. Yeah, I mean, you think the. I wonder if maybe all the fuel saving on the first half has just upset their sort of fuel estimations for the second half, where they start to push flat out, and then. So you kind of like your calculations are, I'm using X amount of fuel per lap, but then when you start pushing afterwards, you're not using the same amount of fuel, you're using even more. So.
No, absolutely. And while we're just there at the minute, you can see we're on with Jan at the moment. Dropped down to P6. Hayden has just gone back past him, but with under half second in it, Jan is not giving up on that P5 at the moment. He wants those points. He needs those points actually. He hasn't picked up too many yet, so he's going to want us to be as high up as he can. But very close at the minute, half a second in it between them two. You've got Quinton chasing down Harry 7 at the minute behind them, behind Jan as well. So these three here, you don't know what could potentially happen, maybe.
No, we've only got a couple laps to go, so it's going to be interesting. I do wonder if we're going to see anyone else sort of dipping into the pits and just see what happens.
With a minute and a half to go, I think the only way I would be going into those pits is the underfueling, because there's no way I would go in there with just under a minute to go. So, do you think maybe the setup has done it? Has done this to them, Jim, with the underfueling, maybe?
I think it stands to their calculations. Like I said, you spend the first half saving, and if you pit early, you've been saving for say 25 to 28 minutes, but then you go flat out for another 33. Your estimations are going to be way off for how much your fuel calculators think that you're going to be using. So you're going to end up losing about an extra couple laps from that, and I think it's just getting the strategy a little bit wrong, not driving consistently, and then just sort of pushing too hard later on.
Well, Jimmy, we are coming up to the last 30 seconds of this race. We're going to sit at the front here and see what's happening. You got Craig Corish half a second behind Sebastian at the minute. We know you can make half a second on this oval section of the track. Might we see a late push here by Craig Corish?
I think we're going to see Craig just go around the side of him. I can't tell if he's backed off a little bit because he lost a lot of time there. If he's just trying to save a bit of fuel and then coast across the line, he might be cutting it very fine here. We'll have to see what happens if we see the car start to sputter or really like slow down for that last corner or so. But
we're coming up and round to it now.
We have hit that hour mark, so this is the final lap. We are seeing the leaders are about to cross the line. It's getting very close. I mean, Craig's heart is going to be beating out of his chest right now. Getting potentially that win so close. You've been driving for an hour and there's meters between it. He's catching up quick, but I don't think he's got quite enough to make it. Sebastian keeping on the low line. He's going to dip down into the...
Are we going to see... No, I don't think we are. I think that is unfortunate for him there. But Sebastian comes over the line in P1 with Craig Corish behind him in P2. Sam Berry with that late pit stop as well.
Yeah, with the double stop coming out in P3. Fair play to him.
Absolutely phenomenal, that is. Absolutely phenomenal from him there. It's finishing P3. He'll be a bit gutted that fuel might have cost him the win there. But to still come out after 2 pits and still finish P3, that is a brilliant race from him.
It looks like did Jan have to pit then as well, because he was doing well, and then we've seen Harry 7 out of nowhere getting P5, which is just absolutely insane. Look at the gap between him and everyone else.
Well, I'll tell you what, we heard from him at the start of the race, and I look forward to hearing from him again from that one, because if he sticks up there and finishes P5, P1 in class, he will be more than happy with that.
Yeah, if I know Quinton and Alexander are fighting behind him, but you want to... Yeah, he's got it. He's got the P5.
P5.
Oh, no. What happened there? It looks like we've got a bit of a dodgy rejoin going on just there. You do not want to be seeing that on the very last lap.
No, absolutely not. And we're just looking at Ryan Clark as he comes around P10 out on track. He's going to be looking for that P2 in class. I think he's got it as he comes around here now, don't you? There's no one around him.
Yeah, if he loses it now, I think he's got big things to worry about. But Ryan Clark, yeah, nice P2 there. Should see Matthew Massey just coming around just behind him. And then Jan Whittaker still getting P3, so that's not bad at all. I think they've all driven a phenomenal race today. I mean,
absolutely.
The pros have been great, and those AMs have been like really shown that, most of them are near enough pros.
There you go.
Wait, did I miss someone off the board? Harry 7, P1, Ryan. Oh, Matthew in P3. Yeah, he can P4. I think I misspoke there by accident.
Yeah, but P4, Jimmy. So a little bit unfortunate he's not on that podium.
Nicely done there.
There you go. And that's the drivers all across the line now. And that has been an exciting 60 minutes of racing, if you ask me. I've thoroughly enjoyed that race today. We'll have a look at the standings in a moment once it's all been confirmed. But I do have a quick one, real quick. Wookie Wanderer, why are you the bold guy on Sam's car? Let me know in the comments, mate. Let me know. But Jimmy, take it away, mate.
They're both parts of fresh rubber, aren't they? But yeah, so in P1 we have Sebastian. Great drive from him, phenomenal. Followed by Craig Corish and Sam Berry. Again, great drives from everyone all round. Hayden Young, Harry 7. Well, Harry 7 being P1 in the AMs, but being P5 overall. Alexander Claudio in P6. Quinton Clumpert, Wayne Douglas, Peter Duke, and Ryan Clark round out your overall top 10. We're followed by Matthew Massey, Jan Whittaker, Christopher Haynes, Jordan Butler, Adam Wilson-Weir, Gareth Newton, Joshua Smith, Raymond Van Sutman. then Mark Wesley, James Moore, James Vardigans. I mean, we got the Jameses together again. I'm pretty sure they were right next to each other last week as well. And they've got Eddie
No.
Gagonis, Joel Loudon, Harry Hartley-Price, Glenn Ablard, Elmer Van Beek, and then Tim Collmore, rounding out your 27 drivers this weekend.
Well, it has been an absolute great race today. I've already said it, and I can't wait to speak to some of these drivers in a moment. So, Jimmy, shall we get the race winner in with us? Shall we get Seb in here?
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
Right, we'll get him in. Sebastian, congratulations, mate. Well done. P1 today. How are you feeling?
Awesome, really, really awesome. Like, this is my first ever win in a league race, and I'm so happy about it.
Yeah, you should be very proud of yourself there. I've also got a question for you, different from a lot of the normal questions I ask. How do you pronounce your last name?
Yeah, sorry, Sebastian. You need
Diefenbach.
to... Oh, we was close. We was close. Diefenbach. Right, now we know.
Yeah, very good.
Apologies for the last couple of races, but yeah, great drive today. Great drive today.
No, absolutely, Seb. It was a great race from start to finish, mate. From absolutely everybody. But what's your takeaway from today's race? Finishing P1, obviously. What are you taking from this race today, though, mate?
Obviously the points, and that I should check next race if I should save fuel at the start of a race, because I only noticed it at the end of the first stint, and yeah, from there on it was like really difficult to save.
No,
how
absolutely.
close was it across the line?
Sorry?
How close was the fuel across the line?
In the end it wasn't that bad, but only because like the margin lap at the auto fuel was like 1 lap, and I didn't think about it in that stressful situation, so I was thinking, oh damn, I'm running 1 lap short, or like at least 0.2. So like in the end I was just rolling into the pits at the in lap, and I was like 1 lap in plus margin, but like that's why I only lost like 5 seconds, because I was just fuel saving so much.
No, we saw a couple of drivers who didn't fuel save as much as yourself and who did suffer for it. We saw Sam Berry, who was leading. He had to come in, and it looks like the fuel hit him there. So you seem to have done really well with your management there, mate. Again, massive congratulations there to you, buddy. Before I let you go, though, anyone you want to shout out? Anyone you want to thank for today?
Yeah, like to my girlfriend, she's also watching the stream. So hello.
Hello, Sid's girlfriend. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you very much. See ya.
See you later,
Catch you
mate.
next
See you
one.
later. Brilliant there from him. Jimmy, who are we thinking next? Shall we get Mr. Seven back in here, shall we?
Yeah, let's get him back here. Let's have a little chat with him, see how it went today.
Yeah, Harry, welcome back, my mate.
I fancy seeing you guys again.
My mate, how are you feeling today? How are you feeling after that one?
I think in short, stressed. Like
you can hear it in your voice a little bit, a little quiver there.
The fuel was tight, and that's to say it was. I was just saying to Ryan in the waiting room, it was only by sheer fluke that I was going through my black box to change the tyres that I caught that the fuel was a full fuel at the stint. So I was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna have to start saving fuel. Had I not gone to change my tyres, I'd have been like the others, where I'd have sort of spluttered on the last lap or so.
Well, we saw it from a couple of the others, didn't we? And it seems to worked out for other drivers and not so much for the other. But you seem to manage yours absolutely phenomenally there, mate. Any key moments of the race from today that you're going to take away with you?
It was actually pretty uneventful, to be frank. Like literally nothing. I had a decent start, in all fairness. I got a couple of spots at the start, and then I think there was a couple of people collected each other up front as well. But it was pretty uneventful, and I didn't really seem to have anyone around me either to help me out with the tow. So I was pretty much just hot lapping on my own for most of it until sort of the faster cars tried to come past.
You weren't the only one, mate. Sorry, I was just going to say, you weren't the only one, Harry, mate. There was a lot of time between a lot of the drivers there today. So a lot of that draft that they could have used, no one was really getting the advantage of it apart from the front couple of runners, really.
I mean, when Hayden tried to lap me, he bumped me when he was lapping me, and I was like, oh, this is mental. So much more speed, and I'm saving fuel as well at the same time.
There you go. There you go.
But yeah, how did you find that second stint? Because you said you changed tyres, and I don't think many other people did.
Oh no, I
I-
didn't.
I-
I didn't change. I turned. I was flicking through it to turn off the change of tires.
Okay, I see.
Unfortunately, I didn't have, because of the amount of fuel saving I was using. I didn't actually use a lot of the tires either. They're pretty much still about 89%, I think, by the end of the race. So I was pretty chuffed with it.
Yeah, still a lot of grip going. Nicely done.
No, well done, mate. Well done.
Yeah, you should be very happy with that one. I mean, yeah, big gap. P5 overall is worth celebrating.
No,
Oh, yeah, pretty
absolutely,
chuffed with
mate. Absolutely. Before we let you go, though, mate, anyone when you shout out, anyone you want to thank for today?
Just the usual to the Sean, the organisers, you guys, Connor, and all of that. It's the guys behind the scenes, and obviously the sponsors as well. So it's just everyone that makes what this is work. So yeah, shout out to all of you.
No,
Thank you.
brilliant, mate. Thank you for joining us again, and look forward to next week, seeing what you can do
Cheers,
next
guys.
week, my mate.
Yeah.
See
See
you
you
later,
next
mate.
week, guys.
Have a good one, buddy.
Okay,
Have a
then.
good one.
Should we bring Ryan in here? Have a little chat with him.
Let's get Mr. Ryan Clark in here, shall we, and find out what he's thinking from today. Ryan, hello, my mate. Well done for today. How are you feeling?
Well, that was a result, wasn't it?
Absolutely, mate. Absolutely.
P2 in the AMs. I think you should be very proud of that one.
Oh, definitely. Just watching everybody drop off in front of me, we're running out of fuel. I was just like, thank you very much.
A bit of a free pass for you there, you might say.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So
No,
I finished the final lap with 0.2 of fuel left in my tank. So
So keep it kind of close then.
yeah, I had like about 6-second gap to the next car behind me. So on the last lap, I was thinking, right, I can coast it a little bit just to make sure it lasts. So I was lifted.
No, sorry. Did the race go according to plan though for you? Did you have to mix it up at all at any points?
Well, I had to push a little bit harder in the first stint than I expected because I made a mistake and spun out. But I think I dropped down to about 9th, I think it was. I'm not sure. But yeah, so I had to push a little bit harder. But dirty air is horrible in the slower corners.
Yeah, it's not great, is it, mate?
Nah, but I didn't do a tyre change either on the stop, so I gained time with that.
Tell you what, though, coming round on that final lap, how intense was that for you, though, sitting there driving that, knowing where you were about to finish out on track after what had happened?
Yeah, I was like, keep it together.
Nothing silly now, nothing silly. And you done phenomenally, mate. You did really well.
Fuel's going, tyres are going. Let's just keep it on the grey stuff.
That's what you want to do, mate. We saw a couple of people hit the curb and hit the grass today, and it didn't work out for them. You seem to have avoided all that. So, no, well done again, mate. Well done again.
Yeah, cheers.
Anyone you want to shout? Oh, sorry.
Well, Matt, my teammate, he's too annoyed with himself for not winning the race, so that's why he hasn't stepped into the interviews at the minute. He's a bit annoyed with himself, so I'm representing the team for him. But he drove a great race as well.
No, he did absolutely, mate. But I can understand the frustration there from him.
Yeah, but both of the cars were on the podium, so yeah, we're happy with that overall.
Happy days, mate. Before we let you go, anyone you want to shout out and anyone you want to thank for today?
Just Matt for putting up a good race and driving well. It's unfortunate the fuel situation, but yeah, you've done a good job.
There you go, mate. Congratulations again and well done on your
Yeah,
result.
nicely done.
Cheers,
Very
guys.
proud of that one.
Yeah,
Cheers,
nice
mate.
one. Cheers. Ta-da.
No worries. Who have we got left then, Jim? I think we've got one more to come in.
Yeah, we've got Sam Berry, Mr. Two-Stop himself.
Good evening, Sam. Well done, mate. How are you feeling today?
Oh, I'm good, mate. How are you? Thank you.
Very well, thank you, mate. Very well. How did that go for you, bud?
It went really, really well, but I got home late from work and then kind of had to jump on in the rush and forgot to put 60 litres in the car at the start. So I only started with 50 litres, so I had to pit at the end of the race. I was
It was
I was a bit
unfortunate. 'Cause
gutted about that.
I think when you went in, you was about 8-9 seconds on at the front there. So you was doing you had a phenomenal start, and that's just really unfortunate for you, mate. But you weren't the only one out there to suffer with that underfuel today, by the look of it. A few drives had to come in on those last couple of laps.
Yeah, there's
I
about 4 or
saw
5
that.
others.
I think
But when
I
you,
saw a few people.
When you realised that you weren't going to make it to the end, what was your thinking then? Were you thinking flat out get another pit in, or were you thinking, do I try and save as much as possible?
So when I was chasing Sebastian for a bit, when I was getting in his mirrors, he was pushing quite a bit and he kept making a few minor mistakes. So my my kind of plan was, if I keep pushing as hard as I can, maybe he'll try and push to keep keep up, and then he might make a mistake himself. You know what I mean? So I was trying to just
Play mind
carry on
games.
what I was doing, and then see if other people would make a mistake on trying to chase the lead, not expecting me to pit. But yeah, it didn't quite work in the end.
Well, you still made it on the podium, so you should be very happy with that. To be fair.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. I kind of I'm not slow around here, so I was kind of wanting to get a podium this race, and yeah, I got that. So I can't be too disappointed in myself with that one.
Yeah. Did you take part in the 24 hours over the weekend?
We did, yeah. Our team raced and streamed it for
Oh, nice.
the whole 24 hours. It was pretty good. Yeah, we had a good result. We got second in the end.
There you go. So I mean that practice has worked out well for you there, hasn't it?
Yeah, I've done enough laps of Daytona this week to probably not do any more for a while, I think.
Yeah. Don't blame you.
But yeah, it was good. It was great.
Yeah. Is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to?
Yeah, you guys for streaming it.
Thank you.
Shawnee for putting the league on, and all the boys in our stream, and all the boys in the team for supporting us.
Well done
Nice.
again, mate. Well done again. And thank you for joining us today for the race, and thank you for having this little chat with us after, mate. Good luck
That's
for
all
next
right, no
week
worries,
as well.
Thank you very much. Speak to you later.
Cool, catch you then.
Catch you then, Jimmy. That was a great race today. I know there wasn't as much action as we thought there was going to be beforehand, but I enjoyed that race. I don't know about you.
Oh, absolutely. It's so close between everyone, and strategy, like we said, made such a big part of it. And those tires were just killer. I mean, I quite enjoyed the fact that we ended up with a few people taking that two-stop. It just makes it a bit more interesting, seeing where people are going to come out, how people are going to handle the whole situation. It was great all round.
Well, absolutely.